Vinny, tell us about you. Did you like buy and sell a podcast? How did this work? How did you buy it? What were the details there?
Oh yeah, cool. I had long story short, I'd worked at MTV from 1998 to 2007 and became one of the first talent development executives there. So creating shows around personalities and taking that 30-second time slot on TV and giving it to a story versus a music video. So for all y'all who are mad that MTV lost the videos and room for storytelling, I guilty as charged. So I'm gonna put my hands up. Punk'd, the Osbournes, Newlyweds, Run's House. I mean, these put MTV in a global position in storytelling, and I helped MTV franchise out their talent development department. But in 2006, which is when podcasts are really, as a creative media form, starting to bubble up and percolate, mostly because, to be honest, let's say in 2006, you needed access to a microphone. So a lot of celebrities, DJs, music experts, a lot of people adjacent to celebrities or had a foot in the door in entertainment who had access to a microphone, interns at a radio station who stayed late at night. I mean, I know so many people who do anything just to be around that microphone. And Fat Man Scoop and his wife developed a show called Man and Wife. It was a sex talk show by a married couple. And you're talking to a guy who watched sex education on MTV in the form of Dr. Drew Pinsky and Adam Carolla making jokes about every step along the way of sex. And for an LGBTQ man myself, I didn't necessarily identify to the types of sex and sex issues that were happening on that show. And I thought, what better? I mean, who's ever had a sex advice talk show with a married couple that are committed and open-minded? She was certified to talk about sex ed. He was in the industry and was creating beats that led to needing education for sex ed. It just seemed like the perfect blend.
You mean he was creating beats, like he was creating music that was...
Okay. Yeah, Fat Man Scoop. He's the guy. You got a $100 bill, put your hands up. You got a $50 bill. That's Fat Man Scoop. And so much more, by the way. I hate to truncate someone's career into a single hook, but that's the hook you heard and you know for sure. And it was him, the go-to DJ for so many artists. And here he was just unabashedly talking about sex. Like I'd heard a lot of projects. I was there when Nick and Jessica talked to us about taking their soon-to-be marriage into a content series called Newlyweds and how we were going to show the world what Jessica was capable of Jessica Simpson was capable of, as opposed to what the rest of media and the opinions of people who thought what a female should look like or what a white female singer should sound like when she sings, or what a person should magically tap into when they get married. But it was again, I talk about the access of microphones. So Scoop and his wife went into the radio station. They recorded it late at night. It was in a booth. It was very sterile. I'll never forget it. They were so proud. They were so proud to share this with me. And my first reaction was like, y'all are talking about sex, and I believe this conversation is organic and true and would even happen if we weren't in the room. Even if the cameras weren't going, this would happen. But I don't believe you would go into a soundproof room to have this conversation. I kind of wish you brought the mics home and you did it like on your bed or like in your house, like it created a more intimate experience for us. Cause you're a couple, you could give so much more than just two hosts who are put together in a studio audience to talk about sex in a very sterile way. Again, he had access to equipment. He was shooting music videos for Mariah Carey and like the biggest artist. He's literally showing up with equipment. So we went to his house and we shot in the living room, kitchen, the bedroom, and the bathroom. It sounds like a real Newlywed tour there. And we landed in the bedroom. It was magic. I brought that recording to MTV. MTV passes on the concept from development. I walk it downstairs to MTV.com and I said, look, this is a big podcast. Podcasts just got added to the iPhone. I see a trend here in where this is going. I was trying to put on a podcast talent show. MTV wanted me to do a YouTube talent show, and we'll save that for later. Long story short, I got MTV.com to invest in building the website. They put $100K into that podcast to actually give it the presence. And then I went back upstairs and I was like, oh gosh, what did I do? Oh, what did I do? We invested $100K into this website and production passed on the show. I guess Fuse or BET or U2, I guess someone else is going to end up doing the show that we're investing in. And sure enough, they were like, well, let's give it a second shot. Let's look at it. Let's see what it really is and what it could be.